What's going on, my PT peeps, my Walking Dead family, my fighters? I'm One Eye Bright, also known as PT. Don't know if I'm winking or blinking, but I'm definitely thinking about the Walking Dead universe and mainly the Walking Dead Daryl Dixon show. Spoiler warning for all things Walking Dead. We have some potential spoilers for the first episode of the Daryl Dixon show, season 1, episode 1, and I'm excited to talk about them. So, spoiler warning, of course, obviously. But the Daryl show will premiere in September, on September 10th, 2023 on AMC. And I'm guessing that Thursday, September 7th on AMC Plus. But we got to wait some time for it, but it'll be here before you know it. And some people got to see the first 20 minutes of the first episode. I got to see the first 10 minutes because it's online all over the place. And in those first 10 minutes, we get to see Daryl go to France, come ashore, but also battle some walkers. And there's a lot of discussion talking about this walker here, well, a couple different walkers that look to have like acid for blood or radioactive blood or something. You know, this walker looks off. It burns Daryl's arm just by grabbing him. So what's going on with that? I'm excited to see how it goes down for potential variants. Also, per Report of the Walking Dead, as it has been confirmed that the spinoff of The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon will continue the post-credits scene of The Walking Dead World Beyond. We will see variants of zombies in France. Pretty cool. So we also know Daryl's going to travel around with some new people, some characters, Laurent, that looks to be potentially immune. I'm not sure if the character will be or not. They've kind of done this before on Fear the Walking Dead and a couple times actually, and it hasn't worked out. Fear the Walking Dead is kind of the outlier in the Walking Dead universe, if you ask me. But Daryl has to escort Laurent around, and that'll come in the 6 episodes for sure. And Daryl's already been greenlit for a second season. They were filming before the actors and writer strikes. So Daryl is in France for at least the first 2 seasons of the show. We'll have to see if they get a third and more. We'll have to see what happens with that. But Daryl's going to get some weapons. He's going to make some allies. He's going to make some enemies. And it's going to be pretty interesting. You know, I have low expectations for the show, but I do like Daryl. I do like Norman Reedus, and I think he can carry a show. I believe this character's name is Isabelle, and there was a character on Fear the Walking Dead named Isabelle. Not the same character, not the same actress, not the same anything. There's a connection with nuns, a covenant, Daryl getting injured, having to be taken care of by the nuns, which is okay. I mean, the show has been said a couple times by Norman that it feels like a reset. So I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing, but only time will tell. But from the trailer, it looks pretty decent. And the new characters look to be pretty interesting. Isabelle, I don't know if this is her sister or a person she knows at the church or a covenant or wherever it is. But we're going to meet some new bad guys, some bad people. This guy is going to he just looks like a bad guy, right? He looks like something out of Highlander, but he definitely is a character that's going to be going after Daryl. And I don't see any connections with CRM. I would like to see that. That'd be pretty cool, especially with the post-credit scene of The World Beyond, CRM there, that angle. But I'm guessing this guy is named Codron or Codron, if you look at it there too, but it's probably like Codron or something like that. So we'll have to see what's up with this dude against Daryl. So let's get into the spoilers. So per at TWD filming, Daryl continues his trek through France. He sees Isabelle, not the one from Fear the Walking Dead, a new Isabelle, for the first time from afar as she is putting up signs that reads, "God loves you." Daryl sees her a few times in the distance while walking around. So Daryl's trekking around. He's got a bandage on his arm from the burn of the walkers. So this is after he leaves the kind of marina type thing where he tore up the walkers, but you see the bandage on his left arm from the burn, and Daryl's got the harpoon as his weapon, and we're going to meet a new character. So Isabelle, like I said, it had to be a couple times where I'm like, Isabelle? No, it's not that Isabelle that was connected with Althea on Fear the Walking Dead. And it's not a big deal, but it's like, could you just name her a little different? Because it kind of throws it off a little bit if you know the Walking Dead universe. But for those who don't watch Fear the Walking Dead, who cares? I'm guessing this is in French. That says, you know, God loves you is what she's putting up posters around, but you don't see actually Isabelle in these photos. Then we see that Daryl comes across a woman and a blind man. He's really not. He trades his first aid kit for food. Daryl protects them from a group of attackers, which will end up being the main antagonists of the season. Daryl gets shot defending them. So Daryl gets wounded yet again, but the plot armor is thick, so he survives. So I'm guessing Daryl sees the woman from afar, you know, keeping his distance, which he should because he don't know these people. I mean, Daryl is an outsider here. he's all alone, and we're gonna have to deal with. They have like old revolutionary type rifles. I want to call them muskets, but they're probably not. I'm sure people who know weapons and guns are like, that's not a musket. I don't know. I'm just saying, it just reminds me of something like that too, where you got to load it with like gunpowder and have the rod thing to load it up. But Daryl, after seeing the woman and blind man, they turn on Daryl. He gets the wind knocked out of him with the old man's stick. Daryl starts to lose consciousness as Isabelle approaches him. We hear her kill these two as the screen fades to black. So Daryl tries to do something good here. He gets wounded, and this woman saves him. So he's protected by Isabelle. And so Daryl, this kind of reminds me of the spot where Daryl and Merle, zombie Merle, even though I know this is in France, it's not the same thing by any means. But Daryl's going to be tore up. So Daryl's going to get wounded. Daryl's going to get captured. We all know, when in doubt, give it to Daryl. And when in doubt, capture Daryl. But also wound him, but don't kill him. That just Daryl's been through a lot in all the seasons of The Walking Dead. I mean, goes back to season 1, season 2, season 3. I mean, just name it. He's been captured and injured multiple times. But Daryl takes a bath. So Isabelle bathes Daryl. And I picture Daryl to be like, no, like squirming around, like, no, I don't want to bathe. No, no, I like to be dirty. What are you doing now? Isabelle asks if he has family. He responds, saving he has a brother. Not sure if he's talking about Rick or Merle. I'm guessing Rick, because Rick is still out there. I guess Daryl's holding out hope. We know that Rick's still out there, but Daryl doesn't. And if he said he had a brother, Merle, because Merle was killed, well, Walker Merle was killed by Daryl. So you see Isabelle here, better shot of her as a nun taking care of Daryl. So Daryl was lucky to find good people here in France. Like, what are the odds of that, right? But Daryl walks all over the place, and he finds the right people to start his journey. And he's going to be the American that can help Laurent, the person, or the child here, or kid. And it's going to be interesting. But Daryl takes a bath. Dun, dun, dun. Stay tuned for more. They continue talking for a while. Isabelle, she notices the scars on Daryl's back. Daryl says his dad was a smoker and an abuser. She goes to wash his bottom half. When he grabs her hand, he sees cuts on her wrist from suicide attempts. They share a moment of sympathy. So you see the scars on Daryl's back, and you see the tattoo that kind of moved previously on The Walking Dead. If you go back and watch it, it's on the other side. But Daryl's tattoo is there, so hopefully the continuity is right. And like I said, Daryl taking a bath is a big news in the Walking Dead universe, right? That's kind of funny. So Daryl wakes up in a church filled with nuns. They have to cauterize his burn to save his arm. We hear his screams from another room with nuns. He drifts in and out of consciousness. We see a brief flash of Judith and Carol from 11:24. So some people were thinking that they're branding him, but they're cauterizing his wounds, his burns, to save his arm. So it's a cauterization, not a branding. So Daryl waking up here, he looks to be in rough shape. Again, Daryl's not doing well multiple times in the Walking Dead universe, but again, he's saved by these good people to take care of him. So they take care of him, and then he's going to help them out with Laurent. So we'll have to see how it plays out. And I'm kind of excited to see what happens here. But Judith showing up was confirmed here, but it's a cameo type of thing, and it's probably just previous footage of Judith and Carol. So technically, they'll be in season 1 of the Daryl show. And I hope we see Judith over the series. We'll see Carol in season 2 and probably season 3 and whatever they do there. But season 1 starts September 10th, 2023. Let me know your thoughts. Post your comments below, guys. I'm excited to see what happens with this show. Like, share, subscribe, stay in the know by subscribing to our channel. It's the easiest way to support the PT channel. We truly appreciate all love and support. Stay safe, and as always, tell them Daryl.
Yo, we love you guys.